¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Enchilada. Okay, that's all I got. That's 8 years of Spanish. That's what I've learned. No comprendo. Muchas gracias. Cerveza. 日本語はまだちょっとできますけどね。スペイン語は全然忘れちゃった。すぐ忘れちゃった。残念ながら。どうしようもない。All right, let's do it. Oh, actually, that got me thinking. You know salsa, right? Obviously. You know where his name came from? This video. This is good. There we go. Truly, mwah, chef's kiss right here. Legit. I'm not even kidding. That is how salsa got his name. Okay. Let's chart real quick. Momento. I did just 1.5. Speak English. I grew up studying Spanish in school forever, and I studied Japanese for a long time. My Japanese is okay. My Spanish is non-existent. My English is also okay. My English is acceptable occasionally. Okay, okay. Hold on. Make sure I got everything up. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this bounce. So here we go. Here we go. Okay, I got puts on. What did I do? When we started breaking down, got it this morning, alerts, etc. Basically, I don't know. I decided that I didn't want to give back all of my money that I earned over the last 3 weeks. I hedged 61.6 or so, and I ended up actually covering most of that hedge at 65, 60.5. But I also bought puts, so I haven't really. I mean, didn't hedge the puts, so really. So I still have those puts. Um, I decided to punt along on a second, and yeah, okay. So I decided to punt along. Not really sure. I don't know. The risk reward was just pretty good. That's what I thought. That was basically it. I'm not convinced of anything necessarily. It was simply just a risk reward based play. Um, so I took it. I got in. I got in somewhere, I think here, something like that. And I just move the stop up and we bounce. In my opinion, if we go back down again, I'll just get out. So the idea is not that like we won't bounce at some point, but I have no interest in holding through an undefined amount of nuke, right? So just because I get stopped out, it doesn't mean that we won't bounce from here, right? If I get stopped out here, that doesn't mean we won't bounce at 60 or 59.5. It doesn't mean we won't stop at um I don't know, 59, whatever, 58.3. But I don't want to hold that. Um so that's basically the plan. There's some definitely concerning indicators going on. Open interest not sold off, or is not gone down much, given how high we've climbed. I mean, if you look back compared to the first time we broke 60K back in the original all-time high, obviously it's like this is much nicer, but it's still sketch. And especially when you consider how little, I mean, we've taken a little bit off here, but not that much. Um, but, you know, um, again, it's just worth looking. It's worth taking a trade if you can define the risk. Am I looking at Bybit? So this is Bybit open interest. I think Bybit apes are kind of like the most insane, especially. So I think that if you're going to look at any exchange for open interest, Bybit is a good example. But the bottom two are combined across the board. Yeah. So the bottom one is aggregated open interest for linear futures or basically stablecoin margin futures, and then the very bottom one is inverse futures or aka coin margin. Um, but yeah, no, it's still scary for sure. And all right, hold on a second. I gotta my one of my sessions crashed. Give me a second. I'm gonna restart it. Un momento.少々お待ちください. There we go. Yeah, I mean, we just keep stalling. Like we hit a bottom, bounce for a second, then we stall. It's not great. It's not great at all, I have to say. One second, sorry. But again, you know, I truly believe that biases is important for choosing which direction to trade, but I think that your entry is more important than your bias for actually executing the trade. And this is something that like I know, and I still make mistakes all the time. But uh, what it comes down to, I know the screen's off still. Hold on, I'm still trying to finagle this. Second. What it comes down to though is basically your entry is what is going to give you the highest EV for the trade. I know, black screen. I know. Hold on. Hold on. Trying to talk while I'm fixing this. Just a second. Oh, hold on, lots here. We're at the door. All right. Let me turn the screen back on. Okay, yeah. So, what was I saying? Yeah. So bias is important for choosing which direction to trade. Entry is more important though for actually taking the trade. So, for example, if you have a bias that says you think we're going to go up, then that's great. But if you take a bad trade because your entry sucks, you're not going to. You're basically just most likely going to end up losing over the long run. The EV of a trade is highly dependent on your entry. You can see that dramatically in how moving your entry changes your risk reward. So, for example, if you've got like you have a risk reward, let's say you entered a trade, let's say you entered this trade here at 500, right? And you have a stop down there. Okay, so if you move the entry up, just let's say instead of getting in at 60.5, you get in at like 60.7. That already takes you from like an 8R trade to like a 4R trade. So do you see that? Look, a 200, the difference between, let's say you get in at 500 exactly. 500 is going to give you like a 7.5R. If you get in at 800, you're going to look at a 3.3 risk reward. You literally are cutting your risk over half just because of $300 of bad entry. And that is because that's because the better your entry, for example, if you get a lower entry, not only does that reduce the amount of risk you have when on the downside, but it increases the amount of upside you have. So bias tells you which direction to trade. That's all it tells you. So you have a bias that we're going to bounce. That's awesome. Good for you. The next thing you need to do is find an entry, because if you just buy some shit entry, you're going to end up with some garbage risk reward, right? So essentially, entry is almost, I would rather take a trade that has a great entry than that doesn't necessarily fit my bias perfectly. Than I would rather take a trade that I think fits my bias but has some shit entry. So my bias doesn't necessarily say we're going to bounce right now, but the entry is good. It's a tight entry. If I can justify holding something like this, let's say, what did I get in on? 568 or something. I think I added a little bit. 560, right? Something like that. If I can justify something like this, right? Even if there's only like, there's a three, right? That's like almost 4R. Essentially, that's the idea, right? So even if this trade only works 1 in 4 times, I'll still be basically making money. I mean, that's got to be a little bit better than that, but you get the idea. So that's essentially what I'm going for here. Yeah. I did buy some E, and I bought some Solana as well, because I think if we bounce, those things will bounce too. I must say that Solana so far is looking pretty terrible. Anyways, I'm going to swing long on Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and I got my scalp on. That's it. What is my exit for this trade if it works out? So that's a good question. One of the reasons why I opened the trade on two different accounts is so that I can manage them differently. So I'll get out of the scalp pretty quick. I probably would get out of the scalp above somewhere in the mid, I don't know, 61.7 would be, I think, a pretty good exit on this trade. However, I will probably leave my swing open and just let it do its thing. That's essentially how I trade. I have to put them in two places because I am so paper hands. I get that itch to close. I'm incapable of not closing. So if I don't have my swing trade like out of sight, out of mind, I'll close it. So essentially, I've got that thing tucked away in another account. I've got a stop in, same stop basically, and yeah. So I'm just going to let that thing do its thing. I'll take my scalp pretty quick, get paid, move on, and let my swing run. That's kind of what a system I works really well for me. I've done it like this for a long time. I take my scalps, I take profit really quickly. And then if I really do believe that there's a reason to hold a trade longer, I want to have that on a swing account or something like that. My swing stop, yeah, I'm not trying to my swing stop's the same stop. I'll get stopped out of everything and I'll just re-enter if it bounces. I'm not holding through a nuke. I mean, I just don't, it's not worth it. I'll get back in. It's fine. Fees are expensive, but they're not as expensive as trying to hold through a nuke. Yeah, I know. I didn't mean to, but for some reason my language got swapped to Vietnamese on Bybit, and I can't figure out how to change it back, which I think is actually hilarious. What do you do if you short the BTC top? If you shorted the BTC top, then you have to choose based on what your bias is. I think there's a very reasonable chance that we are going to dip below here. So if you want to sort of hold that and try and make $1 million, and go for it. I do think that you can probably take some off right now, but it also depends. Like, are you hedging your spot exposure? I don't know what you're doing, right? Um, Jesus, this is like pretty pathetic. Although, is this the hourly about to close? Mm-hmm. All right, I might take a little bit off. Hold on. I don't like this with the hourly. See what happens. I think I'm going to take some off. Yeah, it is a huge support level. And I do think it'll hold for now at this point. I think there's a reasonable chance that we run the lows though. All right, let's see what the reaction is. It's about to close the hourly anyways. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Might give myself a tiny bit more room. I don't know. It's pretty weak. It is pretty weak. It would be nice to bounce right now. Even the S&P kind of like petered out. Spot has been kind of all over the place though. Yeah, I don't see any spot buying right now. Basically just floating here. I see spot selling. All right, there was a little bit. Yeah, there's some Coinbase buying. It's pretty pathetic. I must say. I know. Where is the Coinbase Chad? This is like the most frustrating to trade because it's like, yes, the reasonable chance it bounces, but we're just like grinding the 60K support, you know? I don't know. I just don't I don't know why, you know. I don't know why I need to be in this. But let's see what happens. Do I use Coinalyze for spot buying? I'm just eyeballing Agra right now. But yeah, I mean, you can see, I think you can see on Coinalyze. Yeah, I know the volume is very low. Yes, essentially, I think that any major market participant could more or less push us one way or the other. Yeah, it might wick me. I'm gonna probably get out because I'd rather just get back in. Yeah, if a mod wants to do a prediction, I'm a little preoccupied. All right. If it bounces here, great. If not, I'm gonna get out and wait. One of the things about not getting wicked is it's okay to have a stop somewhere where you're potentially gonna get wicked, but ideally you want to be able to make a decision before then. That looks pretty bad. All right. Well, I'm gonna wait. See what it does. Yeah, there's Coinbase. All right, there's Coinbase. That's enough. Nope, apparently not. Yeah, even Solana is just like, oof. How do you see spot buys? There's a lot of different ways, a lot of different tools people use, but um, should look at Agar as a simple way to just eyeball what's going on. I feel like Coinbase is having an existential crisis. It's quite confused. Although Ethereum's holding pretty well. How does Agar work? Oh, it just listens to the trades. Like, I mean, I think every exchange API supports streaming trade data, so they just listen for fills. All right, that's Coinbase. And tries again. Bot's trying. It's trying. Bot is trying its best. I am not streaming FTX. Because well, for a few reasons, I'm not really trading big size on FTX. Mostly just swing positions. Um, yeah, but basically, if you follow me on Twitter, read my Medium articles. Oh. One thing with bottoms like this is that they always look terrible in the moment. So, I mean, it's tricky because in the moment, it always looks like it's about to just die. You have to be able to sort of keep yourself, um, I don't know, objective. Right, it does look a lot like 40K. I agree. The difference between that and 40K is 40K was the result of weeks of selling, whereas this is not. So we're sitting in we're more fueled up, right? Leverage is higher, more open interest. The whole thing is much more ready to explode, which is scary. I don't know if it's overly bearish. I think it's quite concerning though. I think that the fact that we broke all-time high without any follow through and it was like a 1 day event is very concerning. It's not the all-time high break I think people expected. The rotation into alts immediately afterwards too. The whole thing was like pretty um unfortunate. What did I expect would happen? Well, I would have expected us to break 65K on ETF and ideally strongly push through. Maybe retest, but look at like the 40, look at how we broke 20K on the way up, like earlier in the year, and how we broke 50K, etc. If you look at those significant mental break like levels that we've broken through, the ones that um the ones that have led to large follow through tend to be when we break a level with instant follow through and we never retest, or we don't retest right away, or we don't retrace. And the fact that we did is very, very concerning. There's Coinbase. Daddy Coinbase trying to save us in nothing. All right, okay. Okay. Daddy Coinbase. Hmm, gonna need something more than that. Oh boy, how do I do this? What do you speak Vietnamese? Oh yeah, they're on my agri-trade settings are on Discord, I think. I show the heat map, sure. What exchange do you want to see? This is Bitfinex. Bitfinex doesn't have any super obvious levels right now. Kind of everywhere. Bitfinex. Hello. Hold on, let me refresh. There we go. Okay. So Bitfinex looking like, yeah, they've got some stuff down there that unfortunately, I don't know if those, yeah, they've got stuff that did not get filled, which is scary because Bitfinex likes to play games. They are like true haven for manipulation. So if they didn't get filled, it's always possible that they'll decide that they want to get filled and, and push us there. They did that the other day. BitMEX, similar situation, although much lower. BitMEX is just layering bids, trying to buy the wick, trying to buy something, 57 to 58.9. What happened to my mic? Do you not hear me? Testing, testing. What's up? I'm using my AirPods. I don't have I've been too busy to set things up properly. You hear me? Okay, good. Yeah, I know the quality is whatever. It is what it is. Good enough. Not here for the mic quality. I'm embodying the SBF mic life. What tool is this? This is Trading Light. It's a heat map tool. I don't think it's free, but it's not that expensive. Yeah, the best. Have I played around with trends? No, I have not. I have not played around with a lot of tools. Partly, I don't know. Maybe I just got stuck in my ways doing trading the same way for so long. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool tools out there now. Um, if there's something that you think is very valuable, um, it would be great to post in the Discord. There's a trading tools channel. So if you have a tool that you think will help other people, I appreciate it if you post it. Changing your trading style, something accurate with astrology. No, I do understand the idea that if everybody thinks the same way, that makes it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But no, 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 I will not trade with astrology. No thanks. I have enough noise in my life. No, no moon cycles. Well, pretty pathetic, gotta say. Daddy Coinbase not following through. Oh my God, did Elon tweet about Doge? Mention. In Dogecoin. Very clever. Very clever. Did you long dark? Hold on, I'm gonna get a drink. Oh, girlfriend's got a blend. Hold please. All right, I'm back. All right, so Daddy Coinbase has been replaced by stepdad Bybit. Is not the father we want, but it's the only father we have. Fortunately, stepdad Bybit might turn around in a few $100s and slap us the other way. Is Keyboard Monkey long? Or that was Keyboard Monkey longing. I got you. Yeah, he does trade on Bybit, and he does have to fill a 20 mil position, and 20 mil max order size is 1 mil. Keyboard Monkey leverages for sure. He only trades futures leveraged, 100%. But that doesn't mean he's leveraging his net worth, right? I mean, if he's got like, let's say he has 20 mil, that doesn't mean if he has 20 mil net worth or 50 mil net worth, whatever, and he wants to fill a position that's less than that, that doesn't mean he wants to deposit 100% of his capital for the position, right? Like leverage is useful, not even if you don't have. Did he say that? Yeah, actually, I remember that interview, but I think that he does still trade. I've seen him post some positions. I do remember though he took a break after he lost a lot. I think he does. I think he's back on it a little bit, but yeah. All right, hold on. Gotta find. Gotta find a Teal Street thing. Supposed to be doing Scrum right now. Ooh, and Memento. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty good, guys. I gotta say. Got to say. If the volume picks up, we'll be okay. If it doesn't, we're probably either gonna just continue to do whatever we've been doing. Yeah, my accent is a joke. My Spanish is a joke. It's all a joke. My parents speak Spanish too. Like, well, but alas. All right, hold on. I gotta check something. How was my break? It was good. Yeah. I mean, I've obviously missed trading, but I had to just stop because I basically was clearly on tilt and lost too much. I wish that it was more of a celebration than a enforced abstinence, but nonetheless, it was good. It was needed for sure. I don't have any music with musical stuff. I don't have my guitar or anything with me right now. Because I moved and it was too much work to bring it all with me. I'm gonna try and get one though in a little bit. Um, all right, hold on. All right, guys. I'm gonna give this another few minutes and then I'm gonna get off mic because I got to work on. Yeah, my Switch is great. The Zelios. I highly recommend. Actually. I bought them on a whim. I buy all my keyboards on Reddit because a few reasons. I'm bad at making decisions, and the Reddit the Reddit keyboard exchange site is cool because you get a chance to find things that you otherwise would not think about buying. So instead of wading through an endless amount of drops and group buys and who knows what else and like choosing everything, you get a chance to get like a really narrow look at like random things that you otherwise wouldn't think about, and often for a really good price. So I basically only been buying stuff there now. I'm also not like that into keyboards, but anyways, I ended up getting the White Fox maybe 6 months ago, and it has become, yeah, it's my favorite. Sniped. Patient. Yeah, I've been trying to be really patient, Greg. I did get in. This is like the second time at least I've tried this though. But I think both times I got out break even. You know the actuation force? I do not. No, not offhand. See if I can find it anywhere. I can't seem to find it right now. I feel like any of them for sale. Obviously, I can find it. Wait, if I can, 67-gram tactile Zelios. I see posts from like 5 years ago. Hold on. Last year. Yeah. Anyways, I can't find it, but you can do your own research. My favorite keyboard, White Fox, Helios. It's basically perfect, in my opinion. Honestly, I think the Zelios switches are pretty ideal. So if you can just find any keyboard you like, if you can get Zelios, I think it's worth it. I was very surprised. I didn't even like I didn't buy it because of the switch. I didn't even think about it. I was just was like whatever. But turns out to be great. Yeah, I haven't tried enough switches. All right, guys. Explain my strategy for buying keyboard. Kyle, I just talked about it. But yeah, no, I go on Reddit and that's it. I don't do any research outside of Reddit because I don't have time. There are other things. This is like, I mean, if you like it, that's great. But like, keyboards are one of the Reddit, or they're one of the rabbit holes that you go down where it's like endless. You'll spend you'll spend forever trying to figure out what to buy. So what I do is I only look on Reddit. I don't do any research, and I just figure out what looks popular or what looks good or whatever, what seems interesting and is in a reasonable price point, and I buy it. And so far, I've had very good luck with that, and it takes way less time. Wow, Solana looks like pathetic. How long mistakes were made. All right, guys, any questions? Otherwise, I'm gonna get off. Why didn't I miss, dude? Don't even talk to me about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't wanna. Now, hold on. Hold on. Wait. What is my favorite food? What is? Um, I like. I mean, I really like most Japanese food. Pretty good. I really like. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Love it. Love it. Hands, add, paper hands. Boom. There you go. Rip. That's like a $5 million value today, I think. Oh boy. It's got to be at least that. What is that? Let me see. We got 200. 5, 80 times. Yeah, it's like 5 mil. Oh my god. All I had to do was not ever do anything ever again. It just wasn't even a very like I mean it was must have been like I think it was like a 50K trade too. That was it. And I knew it too. I knew that was it. I knew that was the trade. I knew that was it, but hands too weak. Yeah, Solana's not having a good time. Well, what Lucardi, it's what it was a $2.5 entry, right? It was at least 50K size. So today it's what 200? 200 divided by 2.5 is that's an 80x from 2.5. 80 times 50,000. Okay, so that's like 4 mil. Yeah. It's a joke. It was a trade. It wasn't an investment. I'm mostly kidding, but it is kind of pathetic. And it does mean I need to rethink some things about how I approach, especially alts, because um, obviously there's opportunities to do better, right? Even if it means like letting moonbags ride for longer, forever. Being able to distinguish, between when I should be scalping something and when I should not be. Buy spell. Oh my god. This is how it starts. There is no volume. Yeah, I saw a little bit, Frag. Pretty wild. They bought the naming rights to UC Berkeley Stadium too, which is just like bizarre. Yeah, we gotta outbid them on the Berkeley Stadium. I want that one in particular. I used to be able to hear the games from my dorm room. Yeah, they'll buy the president. Why am I building a terminal when it could just be an exchange? It can't be an exchange. An exchange is infinitely harder than building a front end. Building a front end is hard. Don't get me wrong. Building an exchange is like 100 times harder. There's a whole bunch of reasons. The first obvious reason is risk, legal risk, financial risk. The next reason is startup capital. You need to be able to make the market. An exchange is not simply a place where buyers and sellers exchange money. An exchange is something where you need to have liquidity on the books at all times, even when you don't have a lot of people logged in trading. And that's why you have to have market makers. Almost every exchange starts out by paying people to make the market. They'll pay firms, whatever, to help make their market. Many exchanges continue to pay market makers forever. Bybit clearly is making its own market or has a firm doing it. FTX uses their Alameda desk to make the market. That is not cheap, very expensive. Next reason is building a matching engine that works well and is auditable and reliable and all of that stuff is really hard. Um, it's not impossible because obviously there are exchanges out there, but it's not something that you can just whip up in a hot minute. Ben Dallo, the guy who was one of the co-founders of BitMEX, who wrote their matching engine, he worked in high frequency trading before that as a software developer. So he was like years in the making building high frequency trading software. Um, and then if you take a look at like FTX's matching engine, it's not very good, in case you haven't noticed. It's objectively slow. Same with Binance. Um, so the point is that it's not easy. It's very hard. There's so much responsibility too. Is my internet lagging? There's so much responsibility also. Come on, there we go. Yeah, you have a huge amount of responsibility to your users to be up, to have a uptime. Was I roll it for a second? Yeah. You have a responsibility to be functional, to be operational, to have incredibly high uptime. Anyways, for the reasons of regulations, financial risk, personal risk, incredible difficulty of building the matching engine, the responsibility to your users, the risk of getting hacked. These are all reasons why unbelievably hard to make a good exchange. Also, competition. I would say we would need probably on the order of $10 to $15 investment to build a decent exchange. So if you want us to build an exchange, I'm not against it entirely, but I mean, we're going to need a few, something like 10 or 20 mil. And I'm not going to fund that. I can't fund that. I'm not that rich. I'm 20, mid 20s. Sure. You guys want to hook up funding. If you guys want to build an exchange, find a way to source about $20 million. How big is the chance of it being profitable? Being profitable, probably not. That's not that hard because once you get it working, the operational costs aren't huge. As long as you can build something reasonable. But again, if you consider the risk, though, you have to consider risk-adjusted returns because an exchange is enormous risk. So being profitable is probably not that unlikely, but to operate without you going to jail or getting hacked or blowing up or getting sued, that's a different story. So risk adjusted, yeah, there's some serious risk there. But if the baseline is just simply being profitable like year over year for a year, not that hard. Yeah, what's the unfair advantage? Yeah, right. Like for example, the only thing that would be nice is a trusted exchange that had cross collateral and a whole bunch of different things like FTX does, but had a matching engine that was as good as something like Bybit. Um, but yeah, again, that's not it's not the reason that does not exist is not because they're lazy. It's because it's hard, and I don't have any reason to believe that I'm going to be able to build something better off the cuff, right, than professionals. Every exchange I know of that's decent has been built by people who are already veterans of the industry. It's not something that was just dreamt up, no experience, except for maybe Coinbase, and that's why Coinbase sucks. But Bybit, I believe that Ben, their CEO, worked in Forex exchange before. Um, FTX, obviously, with Alameda, and I mean, even their matching engine kind of blows. If this chat wants to build an exchange and you guys can figure out a way to fund it, I'm not against it. But I'm not gonna. I mean, we're gonna need to hire a team. That would be a thing. It would be a thing. Yeah, well, if you can figure out DAO it and you want to like go that route, again, again, it's exciting. 100 Doge. I would love to build an exchange as a proof of concept. I think that would be very fun. It would be a really cool challenge to build a matching engine, try and like get everything working. If Teal Street ever is like just totally stable and I don't have a bajillion things to do and hundreds of features that I want to implement, I may one day try and sit down and build a backend for the exchange, like a matching engine and all of that, just to see if I can do it, see how fast I can make it. But that's a lot different than actually like providing that as a service and actually making the books tradable, right? I don't have any doubt that we could build a matching engine and a backend and all of that. We could build an exchange. We just couldn't build a good exchange. I can build an exchange, just not a good one. Yeah. Yeah, DYDX is different. It's DeFi. So DYDX doesn't have all the same issues that centralized exchange does. And I'm not saying, I mean, I believe that Ben Dallo coded the BitMEX matching engine himself. I'm not saying that a single person can't do it. I'm saying that this single person can't do it. I am not, I mean, I don't have the experience to optimize it to the tune of that. And the second thing is when you're trading, when you're doing something like DYDX where there's decentralized, you're working in a different atmosphere. It's like you're worrying about different things. So the throughput doesn't have to be the same as what you're going to expect from Bybit, right? Because it's just not achievable given the constraints of decentralization. So, anyways, but it's very impressive, yeah. And I'm not saying that a single person can't do it. I'm just saying that I'm sure that if I built a matching engine, it's like it's not going to be that good. It's not going to be better than Bybit. How many? I would say about 100 times harder, Cardi, something like that. 50 to 100 to build a good one. To build something functional that works most of the time, 95% of the time works well, maybe like 5x harder. Build the whole back end to do everything like that just to build it. We need to make it so you can deposit money. We need to deal with matching orders. We need to do withdrawals. We need to have hot wallets. We need to have cold wallets. Make sure security is all good. Two-factor authentication. All the email stuff works well. All of that just baseline to get it working 5 times harder than just what we're doing right now. Now, to go from that to an exchange that you actually want to use, that actually performs like Bybit or whatever, that actually has features, that actually has a market, that actually is legally protected from going insolvent from lawsuits or the SEC, that actually has updates and products and shit, that's another 10 times harder. So I would say 5 times harder just to build out all of the features, but not have them work well enough to be usable compared to existing features, and another 10 times harder than that to build something you'd actually want to use. So, but you have to remember that Teal Street so far is 100% funded internally, and I built the whole thing myself. And I'm also not a web developer by background, right? Um, if we wanted to build a good exchange, it's gonna be at least 10 million dollars. For about $10 million, we could probably build a pretty good exchange. Kyle has killed it. I mean, Frag has killed it. There's a reason why there was no changes to Teal Street for like the last year until I started trying to get more people involved because it's hard to do everything yourself, and I don't have the experience either. Anyways, 10 mil. I mean, $10 million is not like impossible to raise, but again, it's like Bragg is getting really mad at me because I keep doxing him on accident. But I'm like 99% sure that when we were all on mic like 2 months ago, but we agreed that it was okay to use first names, but I can't remember for sure. It's okay. My first name's not Sam. That's all just the cover. Mm. All right. All right. I don't trust this at all, to be honest. I mean, I'm gonna take some off because just like I don't know. But I'm not gonna take it all off because every time I do that, it's the bottom. Also, Solana just like literally imploded. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's holding. I do have my puts too that I should consider since they are in profit. Yeah, every single thing I'm holding is in profit except Solana, which is very disappointing. I'm disappointed. Did I buy Sol at the top? No, not the top, but a top. No, I bought Sol about an hour ago. So no, I did not buy it at the top, but I did buy it above 200. Ask a lot about FTM. All right, guys. I'm just gonna leave the rest of this. I got my swings on still. Going to go do Teal Street stuff so we can yeah, finish someday. All right, guys. I'm gonna buy bid down. No. No, I'm not. I don't think. Maybe. We'll see. All right, bye. Yeah, I gotta go, Kyle. Bye. I was thinking so hard about not saying